Welcome to our news section. Today we are going to study payback period, one of the capital budgeting evaluation techniques. Capital budgeting evaluation techniques are divided into two based on whether they are considering the time value of money or not. If they are not considering the time value of money, that is, it ignores the time value of money, then that type is called non-discounted cash flow type. So in this case, cash flow is not discounted for time. So if it considers time value of money, then it is discounted cash flow type. This payback period is an example of non-discounted cash flow type. So here we are going to study about payback period. That is a non-discounted cash flow type capital budgeting evaluation technique. So what is a payback period? A payback period is the time at which the investor has recovered the money invested in the project. That is how much time it takes to recover the project cost, or how much period it takes. If you are considering the time as years, then how much years it required to recover the project cost. Now we are going to study the methods to calculate payback period. So, methods to calculate payback period. First method is for uniform cash flow. What do you mean by a uniform cash flow? If annual cash flow is same for every year. So if annual cash flow is same for every year, then that type is a uniform cash flow. For an example, consider a project which requires an initial investment of rupees 1 lakh. The project is expected to generate a cash inflow of rupees 25,000 per annum for 5 years. So in this case, you can see the cash inflow of rupees 25,000 per annum for 5 years. That is, every year for 5 years, the project is expected to generate a cash inflow of rupees 25,000. That is, in this case, the cash inflow is same for every year. That is 25,000. In such case, payback period is calculated by the formula initial capital investment divided by annual expected net cash flow. We know this cash flow is after tax. So by using this formula, we can calculate the payback period for a uniform cash flow. This equation will simply give a number of periods it will take the annual expected net cash flow to become equal to initial capital investment. In our example, we know initial capital investment is 1 lakh and annual expected net cash flow is 25,000. and that is equal to 4 years. So in this case, it will take 4 years to recover the project cost of 1 lakh if cash inflow per year is 25,000. So we can use this formula to calculate payback period for uniform cash flow. Now the second method is for non-uniform cash flow. So for non-uniform cash flow. What do you mean by non-uniform cash flow? In non-uniform cash flow, annual expected cash flow are not same for every year. For an example, consider a project with an initial investment of rupees 1 lakh. Let the project generates a cash inflow for 5 years as shown here. That is, for year 1, it is expected to generate rupees 25,000. For year 2, it is expected to generate rupees 28,000. For year 3, it is expected to generate rupees 30,000. For year 4, it is expected to generate rupees 35,000. And for year 5, it is expected to generate rupees 38,000. So you can see the cash flow, that is net cash flow, is not same for every year. So this type is an example for non-uniform cash flow. Our aim in calculating payback period is to find the number of periods required to recover the initial capital investment. So our aim here is also to calculate the number of periods required to recover an initial investment of 1 lakh. So in this type of situation, we are going to calculate cumulative cash flows. What do you mean by cumulative cash flows? The cash flows will add up. So at the end of year 1, the cumulative cash flow is 25,000. At the end of year 2, the cumulative cash flow is 25,000 plus 28,000, and that is equal to 53,000. At the end of year 3, the cumulative cash flow is 53,000 plus 30,000, and that is equal to 83,000. At the end of year 4, the cumulative cash flow is 83,000 plus 35,000. It is 1,18,000. At the end of year 5, the cumulative cash flow is 1,18,000 plus 38,000, and that is equal to 1,56,000. So we calculated cumulative cash flows. It is very clear that the payback period lies in between year 3 and 4. Why? Because at the end of third year, it recovers only 83,000. That is less than the capital investment of 1 lakh. So, the capital investment is not recovered till the end of third year. But at the end of fourth year, it recovers 1,18,000, which is more than the capital investment of 1 lakh. So, the payback period, that is the number of periods required to recover the capital investment, lies in between third year and fourth year in this case. We know at the end of third year, it recovers 83,000. So, the remaining cash flow required to recover initial investment is 1 lakh minus 83,000, and that is equal to 17,000. That is 17,000 cash flow is required at the end of third year to recover the initial investment. But in fourth year, the cash inflow is 35,000. And if we are considering the cash inflow is uniform throughout the year, then the time required to recover 17,000 is 17,000 divided by 35,000. Why? Because in 1 year, that is in 1 full year, the cash inflow is 35,000. So the time required to get 17,000 will be 17,000 divided by 35,000. And that is equal to 0.4857. That is 0.4857 years is required to recover 17,000 if for a full year 35,000 is the cash inflow. So the payback period is equal to 3 years plus 0.4857 years, and that is equal to 3.4857 years. One important assumption we took here is cash inflow is uniform throughout the year. Because if cash inflow is uniform throughout the year, then only we can do this calculation. So here we studied how to calculate payback period for non-uniform cash flow. Now, what are the decision rules? What do you mean by decision rule? In capital budgeting techniques, we need to take a decision, that is whether to accept or reject the project. So that rule is called decision rules. So there is a rule for accepting the project and there is a rule for rejecting the project. In this case, that is in the case of payback period, the project is accepted if the payback period of that project is less than the maximum acceptable payback period for that organization. Then what will be the rejection rule? The rejection rule will be just the opposite. That is, the payback period for that project is greater than maximum acceptable payback period for that organization. So, a project will be accepted if its payback period is less than the maximum acceptable payback period, and the project will be rejected if payback period for that project is greater than the maximum acceptable payback period. So in this video we studied about payback period. Thank you for watching this video. Keep learning.